The mission of our chamber is to champion economic prosperity for our members and the greater Coweta community. That connects us all, and today you'll get a chance to see just how well we're living up to that mission and what it means to you. Dr. Michael Rayburn is here. Michael, would you return thanks for us this morning?
Would you pray with me? Father, we just want to thank you for all that you provide for us. Lord, we thank you for our homes and our businesses, for, Lord, the people that you've provided us with to walk with in this community, for the blessing that you've placed on us, and for all the things that we're able to celebrate this morning. We just ask that you would be with us today. We ask for your wisdom. We ask that, Lord, you would help us in our business dealings and our personal lives, Lord, to live our lives in a way that honor you with integrity and wisdom. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Our chamber continues to grow in membership. Some of our new members are here with us today. If you're a new member, you're here today, please stand, take the microphone, let us get to know you. Tell us your name and your company, and welcome.
Morning, my name's Jeff Paquette. I'm one of the owners of Southside Wrecker. We've been in business since 1981. We moved to open a second location in Coweta about 3 years ago. Anything from changing a tire to a tipped over tractor trailer, we got it for you. Thank you.
My name is Chris Marr, and I'm with PetSmart Distribution Center. Been there for a little over 2 years now, by way of another company that I will not name. But I'm very happy to be there, and my main MO is to keep this guy off my back.
Awesome. Good morning. I'm Rick Domzalski. I am the general manager at the PetSmart Distribution Center over on International Park, and we're glad to be part of the community, and we've got some great things going on in the community this year, so we'll be sharing those. I know we have a tour coming up on Thursday, so if you're going to be there, we'll be looking forward to meeting you, and just glad to be part of the chamber.
PetSmart, a new bronze enhanced investor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I know most of you, I'm either a new old member or an old new member, but I'm Luke Thompson with Metro Brokers, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Metro Brokers, associate broker there. And obviously you can come to me with all your real estate needs.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you.
I'm Matt Justice. I'm a vice president with Peachtree Planning Corporation, and the main thing we do is we make sure people's money doesn't disappear. You know, with the economy the way that it is, that's in demand. So we're looking for folks that can do that as well. So if anybody who has a referral, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, great. Other new members here today? Please help me welcome all our new members. It's now my pleasure to introduce a very special portion of our program. Today we're celebrating an outstanding accomplishment for the Chamber. Join with me in welcoming to the stage our 2013 Chamber Chair, Dean Jackson.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you all for being here. It is a tremendous day for us today, tremendous time, and several of you know why, but in case you don't, last Tuesday we received a call at the Chamber, very much anticipated call, explaining that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce at their board meeting on that day had voted to designate our chamber as a 5-star accredited chamber. That designate, go ahead. That designation is the highest designation that a Chamber of Commerce can receive, and it's the culmination of well over 5 years of work by many, many people in this room. Today, we're going to celebrate that achievement with our members. There are over 800 chambers of commerce that have participated in the accreditation program with the U.S. Chamber since 1964. of which only 214 currently remain accredited. Only 4 other chambers, I believe, have achieved the 5-star designation from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce here in the state of Georgia. With nearly 7,000 chambers in the U.S., accreditation with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is a prestigious honor that distinguishes the high quality, expertise, professionalism, and strong leadership of those accredited chambers, including this chamber here in Newnan and Coweta County. After a rigorous application process designed to demonstrate excellence in 9 core areas, including governance, government affairs, finance, human resources, and technology, among others, your chamber has excelled. Now, to talk about this and to introduce many special guests that we have today, please welcome to the stage Candace Boothby, our President and CEO.
Good morning. Isn't it a great day in Coweta County?
Great. It's early.
Thanks, Steve. Well, okay, we do have a number of people we want to recognize today, and we have a couple of people on the program, some special guests that have made the trip to Newnan and gotten up extra early just to help us celebrate today. But I wanted to take y'all back a little bit in time. 5 years, but we actually started talking about it about 7 years ago, and then 6 years ago actually got serious about going through accreditation. And at the time we did that, the board said, well, it's not really about getting the accreditation and submitting the application. We wanted to use the process to help us learn, to help us figure out what we needed to do better as an organization, to help us identify the gaps and to close the gaps. So we decided we were just going to take our time and slowly do the things that needed to be done to make this a world-class organization. So there's a lot of people that played a role in this. And when I was actually going back and looking at well, who started it, who was involved in it, Clayton Hicks, who was at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, was actually our first volunteer chair. And then Grant Grimes, who now lives in Houston, was the chair for a couple of years. And then we had some extremely supportive chairman during the process, chairman of the board, and several of them are here today. I know Jan Alley Good is somewhere. I saw you walk in. Oh, there you are. If you would stand. And then we had Steve Mader, which right here. You can stand too if you really want. And then is Dennis McIntyre here? Not sure that he is. Vicki Kaiser, Mark Whitlock, who's over here. We had some amazing chairmen, and then of course Dean, who is our chair this year, and we just had great leadership. We've had great staff. We had a great vision. So it was really exciting when we actually made the decision to turn in the application. And at the time that we did, it took us about 2 years. We said, you know what? We've come this far. We've made this much progress. Let's just see let's wait and turn the application in when we think we're going to have the best possible chance to get the 5 stars. Because it's okay to get 4 stars, right? But we want 5 stars. So it took us about 2 years to where we thought we were at the perfect moment in time to turn it in and have the best chance for the 5 stars. And just so you know, there's 9 sections to the accreditation application. There's governance, human resources, communications, governmental affairs, technology, finance, facilities. There's a lot of areas that we are judged on and that things that we've done to improve our processes. So having done all of that, we stand before you today not only a stronger chamber, but a stronger community. And we believe that this will bring even greater value to our members, just like it has over the last 5 years. So we're very proud of our 5-star designation. We're in the top 1% of chambers across the country. I think that's worth a warm round of applause. And now to help us celebrate, I'm going to introduce you these folks, and then they will be coming up in this order. You have a little piece of paper on your table in front of you. But we have our county administrator, Theron Gay, but our board chair, our Board of Commissioners chair, Bob Blackburn, is going to present a proclamation. If you would come forward. And then also following him will be our distinguished mayor, Keith Brady, from the city of Newnan, who will be coming next. Then we have a special guest, Robbie Purser from the U.S. Chamber will be presenting. Rob Nichols, who is the COO of the Greater Columbus Chamber, and for those of you that don't know this, Columbus was the very first 5-star chamber in the state of Georgia, so it's a great honor to have him here to say a couple of words. And then our distinguished Steve Mader is going to lead us in a toast in a little bit. So, Bob, if you would come forward.
Good morning, y'all. I wanted you to read an official proclamation for the County Board of Commissioners. Whereas on March 19, 2013, the Accrediting Board of the United States Chamber of Commerce designated the Noonan-Coweta Chamber as an accredited 5-star member. Whereas to achieve this standing, the Chamber performed an intensive self-assessment of its operations in 9 areas, including governance, government affairs, and technology. Whereas the accreditation process began in the fall of 2005 with the initial chair being Harry Carr, followed by Clayton Hicks, Scott Mueller, and Grant Grimes, and whereas countless hours were spent on the detailed analysis resulting in an issues-focused board of directors program, improved technology, financial growth, increased advocacy in the community, and improved membership feedback and more relevant programming. Whereas the prestigious honor bestowed upon this chamber places it among the top 1% of all chambers nationwide. Now, therefore, let it be resolved, the Coweta County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim March 19, 2013 as Noonan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce Day in Coweta County, Georgia, in honor of its outstanding achievement and the Chamber's continued dedication to our community. So resolved this 19th day of March 2013.
Have Mayor Brady come forward and do a proclamation on behalf of the city.
Congratulations. Couple of things. I was on the board many years ago when we went through this same process. And I know how difficult it is, and I'm impressed. Great job. And when Candace was introducing me a minute ago, she called me distinguished, and Dr. Barker sitting next to me as he was sitting next to me 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night at Wadsworth Auditorium, and he said, "How can they still call you that after that evening?" And I said, "I'm not sure that they can." Any of you who have not seen that production, Lana, are you still running it?
Yes. They can get DVDs too.
And you can buy a DVD, which the benefits the assistance in health care. So, and what time? I'll give you a plug. What times?
It was at 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. Jake, is that still right? That's still right.
Okay, 3 and 10 on NuLink. Just wearing it out. Yeah. Anyway, the real reason we're here today is again to congratulate the Chamber, the Noonan-Coweta Chamber, on 5-star accreditation, and it is no small task. And the proclamation goes as follows. Whereas the Noonan-Coweta Chamber is a membership-supported business advocacy organization serving the Noonan-Coweta region, and whereas its mission is to champion economic prosperity for its members and the greater Coweta community by helping its members succeed in business, produce jobs, contribute tax revenue, and to bring increased prosperity to the community. And whereas to better pursue its mission goals, it was determined to achieve the highest recognition of professional competency in its industry known as accreditation from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And whereas after a rigorous application process designed to demonstrate excellence in 9 core chamber organizational areas, the Noonan-Coweta Chamber submitted said application to the Accreditation Committee of the U.S. Chamber, and whereas the Noonan-Coweta Chamber was thus awarded a 5-star accreditation at the U.S. Chamber's March 2013 board meeting in Washington, D.C., the highest level attainable and one of only 3 chambers nationally to receive a 5-star accreditation. And whereas there exist only 5 chambers of commerce in all of Georgia that currently are 5-star accredited chambers. and whereas the Noonan-Coweta Chamber is among the top 1% of chambers nationally to be recognized as a 5-star accredited chamber by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, be it therefore resolved that the City of Noonan is appreciative of the hard work of the Noonan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce to enhance the quality of life of all of our citizens and our community, and on behalf of the city, congratulations on this honorable recognition. Thank you.
No, he's an expert at these. So, isn't that exciting? So if you didn't hear Keith, the Dragging for Dollars event, which was 2 weeks ago, how many of y'all were there? How many of y'all have images in your head that will never go away? Yeah, I personally think our school superintendent made a real pretty little lady. Okay, next up we have Rob Nichols from the Greater Columbus Chamber of Commerce. He's actually only 2 months into your job as COO, and you're a former Army Ranger, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so nice to have you.
All right, greetings from Columbus, which, as you all know, is located on the longest cul-de-sac from Atlanta. As Candace mentioned, I've only been the CEO for a couple months, and Mike said, he's our president. CEO says, you know what the difference between the CEO and the COO is? I said, no, what, Mike? He says, well, the COO needs to get up at 5:30 in the morning and drive an hour north and go to breakfast while I sleep in. So, well, let me say we're very honored to be a special guest up here. Congratulate you all on this great achievement. 6,936 chambers in the United States, and only 76 are 5-star chambers. Now, not just are you in the top 1%, that's the 0.01% that you're in the top 10, so it's a very select group. And as Mike said, you guys have always been a 5-star chamber. And he's glad that the U.S. Chamber has recognized the professionalism of this excellent organization, and it's a great credit to this super team of staff and volunteers. So thank you very much.
You should wave. Okay, isn't this fun? And now we have Robbie Purser, who is the regional manager for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And he is going to actually present us with the official accreditation plaque.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for braving the cold and being here this morning. I'm not exactly used to this cold snap at this time of the year, but this is an important and happy occasion for the Noonan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce. It's also a distinct honor and privilege for me as regional manager for the Southeastern Regional Office of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to be here and present you with accreditation on behalf of the United States Chamber of Commerce. Some of you may be asking, what is accreditation? And I'll probably repeat a lot of things that you've already heard this morning, but it bears worth repeating. To achieve accreditation, chambers must perform an intensive self-evaluation process in those 9 areas of work: governance, finance, human resources, government affairs, program development, communications, technology, facilities, and benchmarking, and is an effective management tool designed to enable volunteer leaders to determine where the organization has been, where it is now, and where it ought to be in order to fulfill the needs of the community. Much like accreditation for educational and medical institutions, this distinction signifies that your chamber maintains high standards of performance. Accreditation is not permanent. It must be re-examined and reissued every 5 years. 5 years from now, you will not be the same organization. Indeed, your chamber may be worlds apart from today. And as representatives of business and growth, you must be ready to change too. Accreditation is a completely volunteer program, and your chamber leadership has made the decision to tackle the process. The Noonan-Coweta Chamber of Commerce is one of only 221 chambers that have achieved this designation, which becomes even more meaningful when you stop to realize that there are nearly 7,000 chambers in the United States. But not only have you successfully achieved this accomplishment, You've exceeded the basic requirements and been recognized with a 5-star accreditation designation. So on behalf of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, it is my pleasure to present you with a 5-star accreditation on behalf of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. You know, you heard Keith mention, we've actually, the Chamber has been through this process. You were chairman of the board in '85, is that correct? You know how I know that? If you've ever been to the Chamber, you know we've got that room with all the photos on the Wall of Fame. So I know that because of where you fall on the timeline with all the chairs. But the Chamber was actually originally accredited in 1975. So we do have a history of being accredited, and I think, Robbie, the STAR process came about, about 7 or 8, 9 years ago? Right, so we actually as a chamber have not been credited since the year 2000. So this is an even bigger deal because we had that break and then we came back and it was a more rigorous program. So I want to thank all of our guests again for coming. Mayor Brady, Commissioner Blackburn, Theron, Mark our MC, Robbie, and of course Rob. And now we have a couple of videos. It wouldn't be complete without some videos, right? Okay, but while you're watching the videos, you need to be aware of something. See that fine young man back there who's rolling that cart in? We're gonna have some sparkling cider and we're gonna do a toast, and Mr. Mader is gonna come do that for us. So while the video is showing, they will be coming, our ambassadors will be coming around and giving you your champagne glass with apple cider. You know, this is school property, and they wouldn't let us have alcohol this morning, because if we coulda, we woulda. Yeah, exactly. So you just have to pretend. Okay.
Hi, I'm Tom Donahue, President and Chief Executive Officer of the United States Chamber of Commerce. And I'm here today to congratulate all those chambers who have recently received their accreditation. You know, what does this signify to us? First of all, it means that you have a chamber that has excellence in the delivery of programs and help to your members, that you're a chamber that has good, strong governance and somebody that can respond to the needs of your members. The second thing is, and I've said this a little bit already, and that is you're very member-centric. Members have needs, you're there to deliver on them. In this world, where your local companies, who for years just competed here in the United States, are competing all over the globe, we need chambers that help their local businesses not only function in this country, but all around the world. To be effective at that, chambers have to be looking ahead. They have to be seeking out new and exciting ways to do business. They have to listen very, very carefully to their members so that they know which services to provide and how to best help the members succeed. So when we accredit a chamber, we're saying that we see here somebody whose governance, whose financing, whose programs, whose staffing are responding to the needs of today, not to the needs of yesterday. So I want to congratulate each of you again and make the point that the Chamber Federation is only as strong as its weakest link. This is a chain of local and state chambers working with the United States Chamber to advance the interests of American business here and around the world. You are the best we have to offer. You should be proud of your accreditation, and you should see it as a recognition that your staff and your board and your community are doing what it takes to compete in a global economy.
We have a lot of board members in the audience today, and we have a lot of former board members, and we have several past chairs. So if you are a past chair of the chamber, would you please stand and stay standing? Now we've got Steve Stripling and Keith and Jan and Don, and don't be shy, Steve. Now if you have ever at any point in time served on the board of directors, would you please stand? That includes our current board. Okay, I think we should give these folks a huge warm round of applause because they were part of the reason why we were able to achieve this. And then the backbone behind everything we do is our staff, and we have an amazing staff. If I could have all of our staff to please stand. Where's, are they outside? Where's Valerie and Caroline? Oh, there you are. We have one that's sick today. So y'all, if you have not interacted with the staff and you don't know some of these folks, I would encourage you to do that. They're amazing people and they work well as a team and we're very blessed. So let's give our staff a warm round of applause. Okay, now we have a video that Grant filmed for us Friday, and it features some of our past leaders talking about what this means to the chamber. And then when we're done, Steve, if you'll come up and do the toast.
This is incredible that the Chamber has achieved 5-star accreditation right out of the box. We've worked a long time. A lot of people have been involved in helping to make this day come true. The Chamber has become more and more a really vital community asset in terms of economic development and all kinds of quality of life issues. This recognition of the Chamber at the highest level that can be achieved is a recognition that a lot of people have put in a lot of great work. It only helps our entire community to ensure economic prosperity.
Makes me feel wonderful, but the Chamber should feel wonderful. It's tremendous leadership from Candace and her team. She has to be one of the finest CEOs and have one of the finest teams in all chambers throughout the country. The 5-star certification that she has received, and the Chamber has received, and the team has received, puts them in the top 1% of the country. It covers procedures, it covers interaction with business, it covers participation with business and as far as joining the Chamber. It's an overall good job. It makes me feel good, it makes me feel proud.
I think it's an amazing accomplishment for our Chamber and our community as we stand on the threshold of greatness. We have a lot of fantastic companies coming into the area. We have a lot of regional development taking place. Our Chamber having this designation really sets us apart and puts us at a level where other chambers wish. I mean, I think I read a statistic where the 5,000 chambers that apply, only 67, less than 100, which is an amazing number, get the 5-star accreditation. That is a huge feather in our cap and a huge win for our community and for our Chamber.
The Chamber's effort to provide an opportunity for prosperity to grow in our community has always been there. But for a Chamber to be recognized as one of the top 1% chambers in the United States and their processes and procedures and governances and the way that we deliver services to our members is just extraordinary. And congratulations to the staff, the board of directors, and all the volunteers that help make that happen for the Chamber.
In considering our Chamber's 5-star accreditation rating, 5 thoughts have emerged as obvious to me. We have a great president, we have a great board, we have a great staff, we have great membership, all in this great Coweta County, which is, as we all know, prosperity's front door. Congratulations on a well-deserved recognition.
This recognition by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce puts us in some pretty rare company. You've heard, I'm sure, people say that we're well within the top 1% of chambers here in the United States. Well, just to give you a perspective of where we are here in Georgia, we're one of only 5 chambers of commerce that have gotten 5-star accreditation from the U.S. Chamber. That's going to open an awful lot of doors for our community because people seek out excellence. People seek out 5-star chambers of commerce. They seek out 5-star communities like we have here in Coweta County and the many communities that make it up. Not only do people seek out excellence in general, but economic development and investment follow five-star communities. We've seen a tremendous number of successes in our community over the last 5 to 10 years. Your Chamber of Commerce has been a part of that, and in part, that's why we've gotten this recognition. But I think more than that, this is going to be visible recognition that the entire state of Georgia will see, and I think our community is going to benefit because of that. So again, congratulations to the Chamber of Commerce, congratulations to our membership, congratulations to President and CEO Candace Boothby and her staff for a great job.
It validates all the great work that we've done. It gives something for our members to be proud of. It shows that we're doing all of the things that create an organization that is sustainable and that can grow and that is a reflection of a quality community. We're your 5-star staff, you're the 5-star members, and this is your 5-star chamber. We're a 5-star chamber! Woo! And it's all about you! Woo! And it is all about you. If you are an ambassador, would you please stand? We love our ambassadors and couldn't do, and stay standing. Couldn't do what we do without you. We appreciate everything that you do, and you're part of the reason we won this award. Stay standing. Maureen, don't sit down. If you are on the Leadership Coweta Board or the YP Board, would you please stand? Again, these are amazing leaders in our community. We couldn't do what we do without you. If you are a member of the Business Women's Network, would you please stand? Don't be shy. If you're in the current Leadership Coweta class or a Leadership Coweta graduate, would you please stand? If you're a chamber member, would you please stand? Because I'm getting you ready for the toast that Steve Mader is going to give us. So, Steve, I want everybody to give yourself a warm round of applause because this is all about you.
Before we do a toast, and I have 2 toasts, the mayor said that he may not feel distinguished after Saturday 2 weeks ago. Let me say one thing. All 21 of those gentlemen that got up on stage were very distinguished. Trust me, they poured their hearts and souls out to a charity that was well needed of funds, Southeastern Assistance in Healthcare. We thank them, Mayor, Dr. Barker, Garnett, anybody else here that did it. Thank you very much. It was a great effort on your part, and you're very distinguished. So, if you would all raise your glasses to the top 1% in the country, to the finest team that worked over 7 years to make this process happen, to 7 chamber chairmen, to 7 committee members who worked very, very hard to make this happen, to the finest chamber in the country, your Coweta Chamber of Commerce. Can I have hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. By the way, I have, Barker, there's no smoking in the boys' room, but I do have champagne in my glass.
And that's the best darn apple cider I've ever had. I want to bring back...
One more toast. Oh, yeah, one more toast before you go. Obviously, 7 years worth of work. Everybody pitched in. Everybody had played their part. There's no doubt about that. But to go 7 years, it takes vision. It takes a lot of vision, a lot of tenacity, constant work. And this doesn't happen by itself. We had a great leader. We had a great CEO. The engine that pulls the train. The hinge that opens the door. Candace Boothby. Job well done.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you to each of you. We're not done. We have a phenomenal program planned after this. But I do want to say thank you again to everybody because you are part of what makes this community so wonderful and so successful and makes the chamber so great. I'm going to turn it back over to our distinguished 2013 board chair, Dean Jackson.
I'm not going to stand between y'all on the program and finish it up. I'm going to ask Mark Whitlock to come back up in just a moment. The only thing I want to say is I want to echo what Steve just said. It is a reflection on Candace Boothby and the leadership of this chamber and the staff that we've had really well over 10 years now in Ms. Boothby. But the only other thing I want to say is a reflection of everybody in this room. It is obviously the product of a lot of hard work of all the folks in this room, and whether you work directly on accreditation or not, you really did, because as Mr. Purser said, we are a very different chamber from what we were just 5 years ago. When we seek reaccreditation 5 years from now, I have no doubt that we're going to be a very different chamber then. The one thing that's not going to change is our commitment to excellence, and that's, I think, the thing that I take away most from this achievement is this is a reflection of the standards of excellence that we have in our community, in the city of Newnan, in Coweta County, and in our business community. So congratulations to all of you here, and I can commit to you that we're going to continue to try to live up to that here at the Chamber of Commerce. Mark, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dean. Let me add that winners attract winners. This is an incredible community in which to live and work. Incredible community deserves a great chamber, and a great chamber couldn't happen without tremendous leadership. Candace, thank you for your leadership. You've been a great leader for us over the last decade, and we appreciate your work for the chamber. Thank you. Help me join. We've got a very special program today, and it is my pleasure to introduce Joy. Joy Wilkins is a frequent advisor, speaker, instructor, and author on economic development, strategic planning, community capacity building, leadership development, and quality management topics. As a senior fellow with the University of Georgia's Fanning Institute, she provides advisory and facilitation services to support leaders in their efforts to improve the economic, the social, and the environmental conditions of the communities in which we live. Joy researches and shares best practices regarding high-performance organizational development. She served as a consultant for clients in the U.S. and Canada. Today, Joy is sharing with us how our community branding and marketing can have a positive impact on your business and on our community. Please help me welcome Joy Wilkins.
Morning. Morning. Thank you, Mark, for that kind introduction. And I want to just thank Dean and Candace and Glenn for this incredible honor to join you all this morning. Actually, when Glenn and I were working out the details now a good 2 months or so ago, we had absolutely no idea it would be such a momentous occasion. I have to tell you, I am one of these people who just finds myself repeatedly blessed to find myself experiencing or being a part of incredible moments. And to be here with you all this morning during your incredible moment is such an incredible honor. It's just amazing. I will never forget it. I thank you for this opportunity to spend some time with you this morning. It is a pleasure to speak with you about something that you're going to find very relevant to being a five-star chamber and a five-star community, and that is making your place matter. Again, we couldn't have synchronized this any better, could we not? It's kind of cool. Making your place matter. This is incredibly important as we are looking forward. Here we are in the 21st century, just passing the first decade, if you will. And, you know, this is something that's been going on for a little while, but if anything, it's just accelerating for us. With the growing adoption of information and communication technologies, the fact that technology is enabling people as well as businesses to locate just about anywhere in the world, making your place matter is the difference maker between communities that continue to prosper and communities that are challenged in prospering. The good news here is you guys are doing a phenomenal job in making your place matter, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that this morning. Something that, quite frankly, is very challenging to do in what's nothing short of an information clogged world, a very distracted world, if you know what I mean. How many of you, by the way, are on or feel like you're on 24/7? Yeah, it's just amazing. Let's step back a little bit. One of the things I think is really phenomenal that you all have done is you've decided to brand yourselves as Prosperity's Front Door, right? Prosperity's Front Door. You all have heard of Prosperity's Front Door. Coweta County is Prosperity's Front Door. What is a community brand? It's an overarching theme, weaving together the fabric of a community. It's something that's identifiable. It's something that's real. It's not just a logo, a slogan, or a strategy. It's a sense, right? It's a sense. When I'm sitting here this morning with you all, I'm feeling that sense with you all. Prosperity's Front Door. It's easy to remember. It's reflecting a story, and not a story that's happened overnight, but a story that's evolved over time. It helps answer the question, when I think of XYZ community, when I think of Coweta County, I think of Prosperity's Front Door. And it is very much place-based. So let's take a couple of seconds to talk about what does it mean to be place-based, and this whole notion of something called quality of place. Quality of place used to be one of these buzzwords a few years ago, and as you can tell, the buzzword has been growing into reality. In December of 2010, which really was, just about 3 years ago, doing a Google meter, 100,000 hits came up when you searched on quality of place in quotations. I spoke on this at that time and did a Google hit and thought, I was really impressed, 100,000 hits, right? Well, I did one just the other day in preparation to come join you all this morning, and we're now at over 900,000 hits on the term quality of place. So more and more communities are focusing on developing their quality of place and fostering a brand that conveys their quality of place. So it becomes very, very challenging, therefore, to distinguish yourself in that environment. What about branding? Brands are perceptions, right? And as we all know, as the saying goes, there's a difference between what? Perception and reality, right? Brands are built on product, but I would argue here experience. It's about the relationship that individuals have, in this case, with the community. Brands are earned over time. You can sit here and call yourselves anything you want, but if it's not real, right? If it's not real, it's not going to be something that people buy into. And then brands, quite frankly, and that's why we're here this morning, brands do take a village. You've heard that saying, it takes a village? Well, it does take a village. It takes everybody throughout the community singing from the same song sheet, so to speak. About community branding in particular, it is all about creating and sustaining a relationship. It's interesting because this is one of those things where it's not just the message, but it's also the messenger. And it's incredibly important that that messenger reflects your entire community. When I'm looking in this community, I'm seeing, in this room right now, I'm seeing just an incredible fabric in terms of your leadership, in terms of folks who have been at this for a long time, folks who have just joined the ranks with respect to taking on leadership roles in the last few years, and folks who are in a variety of different sectors of your community. And that's what it takes. It takes everybody working together, if you will, saying the same thing and communicating the same thing. Years ago, if I will digress just for a minute, I started this little habit, if you will. Whenever a community would ask me to come in and try to help them figure out what they were what they wanted to do. And by the way, every community has challenges and every community has opportunity. The difference maker with respect to whether or not they overcome those challenges and whether or not they're able to realize their maximum opportunities is whether or not they're working together. And so one of the things that I would do is I would just, for about a month or so, I would just drop into the community, and I would go into the local grocery store or the local gas station, or I would sit in the local restaurant or the coffee shop, whatever the case might be, and I would just talk to everyday people. And I'd ask them about what they liked about their community. And I'd ask them what was so great about this community, what are some of the things that they'd like to see done differently, et cetera. And then I would ask the same questions with respect to the community leadership. And I would compare the two to see whether or not we were hearing some of the same things or whether or not we were hearing some different things. And it takes that kind of messaging, if you will, that is spread throughout a community at all levels for it to become a real part of your community culture. And so luckily, this is something that just in this morning and also what I've been able to be able to learn about y'all over the years, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. In fact, just the designation really of being a 5-star chamber for a 5-star community is really just, as was said by so many folks this morning, just a culmination of efforts that began, not last year, right? Not last year, but several years ago, right? So it's something, but it's something that even though you're there, it's something that needs to be continued. Jim Collins says in his famous work From Good to Great, greatness is an ongoing pursuit. The minute you think that you've reached greatness and that's it, that's the minute you become good, right? So it's an ongoing pursuit. Community brand is really all about community character. And I like to kind of think about this at the individual level, if you will. So William Hershey Davis, for example, talks about a few things with respect to character. He's talking mainly about individuals, but you can apply this at the community level as well. For example, the truth you believe determines your character. So in order for Coweta County to continue to be prosperity's front door, you all have to believe you're prosperity's front door. Let me say that again. In order for Coweta County to continue to be prosperity's front door, you all have to believe in the truth that Coweta County is prosperity's front door. Character is what you are genuinely. So each of you who operate businesses, what does it mean to be prosperity's front door? How does that carry out in your everyday life? Character is the face. All of you who are business leaders are the face of Coweta's prosperity front door. It's built over a lifetime. It doesn't come to light. We talked about this just a moment ago. It's not in an hour. Here he's saying but a year, but when it comes to community branding, it's a continual thing. Grows like oak over time. Anybody watch an oak tree grow? Takes a little while, right? And it really involves a life of hard work. It's continual hard work. It's not just something that you start and you stop. It's apropos here. I didn't realize we were going to have one of our leaders from the Columbus area here, but I have Columbus up as an example of a Georgia example of a brand that has really worked. And that brand is What Progress Has Preserved. And what's kind of neat about that brand, if you will, is it has both a connotation about how the leadership in Columbus is always forward-thinking, but they're also always preserving what's the past, right? The history, the great history of Columbus. Gwinnett County several years ago had a brand that they called Success Lives Here. And that was kind of interesting. I happened to be in the room with the folks who were developing that brand at the time. I was part of their writing team, if you will, their messaging team, trying to help add words to that. And one of the things they realized was they looked around, and Gwinnett County had gone from what they were in the 1980s, which kind of had some still somewhat rural characteristics, to a community with 700,000 at the time. Now they're more than that. They're around 800,000. And they realized, they looked around, they said, wow, success lives here. We have some people who are successful here. And so they kind of jumped on that. LaGrange for years, your neighbor not too far away from here has used Smart Move. And by the way, LaGrange came up with that before Hyundai came up with that. that was a LaGrange brand first. But the point being is, all three of these Georgia examples are examples of those brands reflect the reality on the ground. They were not pie in the sky brands. They were brands that actually reflected the truth of the community. Examples elsewhere in the United States, you know, I didn't realize that Las Vegas actually had this as a brand. You know, have you heard that saying, what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas? I thought that was just some, you know, urban legend thing or something that we all, I didn't realize they actually came up with that as a tourism brand. So anyways, it was just kind of one of those little things. Not too far away from here, our neighbor in Alabama, the sky is not the limit. The reason they're being is they discovered they had a lot of aerospace-related engineers, right? So the sky is not the limit. Get it? It's kind of cool. It kind of, again, speaks to something that they have going on in Huntsville. So let's go back to Coweta County, shall we not? And let's talk about this. Prosperity's front door. As the front door to prosperity, Coweta County is the ultimate destination to grow your business and your family. I'd like us to say this together. We'll pretend we're in grade school. We're in an educational facility, right, Mark? We can do this, right? Let's try to do this together. Ready? One, wait. Let me count. So then we're starting at the same time. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. As the front door to prosperity, Coweta County is the ultimate destination to grow your business and your family. All right. One more time? No? All right. But you get it. Coweta County is the ultimate destination to grow your business and your family, right? Front door. Here are some of the taglines that you're using, and these all are on your chamber's website. Our door is always open in Coweta County. Welcome to Coweta County, Prosperity's front door. Open for business. You know, just seeing the door, open for business. Open the door to all Coweta has to offer, cross the threshold, and find Prosperity's front door. Success hinges on you. Very cool, right? Hinges, like the door hinge. So it's awesome messaging. So what does this mean for you? Well, each of you, your businesses, are prime time examples of Prosperity's front door. Each of you are prime time examples of what it means to be Prosperity's front door and what that is in Coweta County. Having a strong brand that all of you can be a part of and that you help carry forward in your everyday lives and what you say, what you do, what you feel, what you think, will attract more traffic in a good way in terms of investors, customers, etc. It's a good thing. Rather than, I'm going to take a guess. A number of you may represent a relatively small business. I'm going to take a guess that resources are not unlimited. Right? Is that okay? So, by subscribing into a community-wide brand, one that denotes that your community is open for business, if you will, you're sharing the collective benefits of that brand, and it actually turns out to be something that leverages your resources rather than has you investing new resources or additional resources. You can leverage the resources already available to you by being a part of the chamber and Coweta County. Call for collaboration. So a lot of talk this morning about being a 5-star chamber, how that sets you apart in global economy, right? And in this global economy with shrinking local resources, increased global competition, greater collaboration is the key for making your place matter. It really is the key. And the kind of cool thing about this here is that it's not just the chamber, but it's the development authority, your county government, your city, it's everybody, right? It's everybody collaborating with respect to helping folks see Coweta County as Prosperity's front door. Your role is incredibly important in that. Authentic brands, real brands, they become a matter of life for everyday stakeholders. You live it, you breathe it, again, you feel it. It's something you feel. It's something when a visitor comes to your community, there's something about it's part of the energy of the community. It's something you just feel. It's one of those things you can't put a price tag on. And what businesses think, what you all think, from an economic development standpoint, what you think, say, and do, quite frankly, matters most. It matters most from an economic development standpoint. Being part of this messaging team ensures that everyone is singing from the same song sheet. Just to put a little fine point on this, I was in a meeting yesterday where an executive from a company that had relocated their headquarters to Alpharetta, I think it was a regional headquarters, I'm not sure about the specifics, but the point being is he went through some of the reasons why they chose to locate in Georgia, in the metro Atlanta area, and then eventually Alpharetta. And the primary reason he talked about was that what he could tell, what differentiated this area in Georgia from other areas was the fact that he could tell that people were working together and that they were singing from the same song sheet, that there was some collaboration, coordination, and that they were really, there's some cohesive leadership. Because he said, anybody has land. A lot of folks can offer you tax breaks. A lot of folks even have infrastructure that they can help you with. He said, but what really made a difference was the people that he had encountered, and he could just tell that they were working together. And that spoke volumes, because he said, you know what? These folks will take care of me and my business. They're going to take care of the fact that I have to relocate 30-some families from across the country to this area. And he just had faith and trust that that was going to happen because he could tell that people were working together. Walking the walk. This is another one of your important roles, is walking the walk. All right? So it's not just talking the talk. Each of you as Prosperity's front door, as a business owner or business representative, business leader, whatever your capacities might be, right? Each of you has a leadership role in that, to walk the walk. Walk the walk. So what is the value of this walking the walk together? What is the value of having a unified brand? I'm going to just briefly go through a couple points here. Fostering a unified voice ends up, having a unified voice ends up fostering dynamic collaboration in lots of different ways. In lots of different ways. It becomes, again, just part of your culture, just part of a way of doing things. It does enable you, again, to be a placemaker, to play in the world economy, with respect to differentiating yourself. A lot of folks, some friends who work and advise communities on these types of matters on a regular basis will say, if you're going to be different, be really different. Be really different. It strengthens your visibility and your market potential, not just of the community as a whole, but by extension, every single business in this community. It gives you just expanded visibility just by being a part of it. It enables, touched on this earlier, a more efficient utilization of resources because you're pooling resources together for a shared brand rather than trying to have individual brands, if you will. And it ends up becoming a source for building internal and external relationship capital. So internal relationship capital with respect to how you all are working together with this unified voice, and you're continuing to work together, both folks who have been at this for a while and folks who you'll continue to add to your leadership team. Because leadership and leadership development is an ongoing process, right? So you're going to have some leaders joining your ranks that you may not even know of today, that may not even be in this room today, right? Tomorrow, if you look ahead in a year, few years, maybe 5 years, etc., you're going to see some new faces. I would suspect that if you look around the room today, you're seeing some folks that maybe you wouldn't have seen in the room 5 years ago. That's the beautiful thing about communities like yours. That's the really cool thing. And when you have a shared brand, if you will, it becomes very easy for your emerging leaders to become part of the team with respect to carrying that forward. And you know what? They're going to be thankful. They're going to be really thankful that you all have done the hard work in the last few years, quite frankly. They'll be really thankful because you've made it easy for those to follow you. And it becomes a perpetual self-fulfilling prophecy. Any sociologists in the room here? Kind of? Okay. People, somewhat? Okay. Well, there's a theory in sociology that you think, and there's a philosopher who some of you may know, and I can't for the life of me remember the name, But basically, the concept is you think and then you are, right? What you think is what you become. And so I think you already are prosperity's front door from what I've heard over the years. But for anybody who may have some doubt, because we all have doubts from time to time, you think what you are. And so it becomes a perpetual self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. It does enable that stronger sense of community, and therefore it enables what we like to call staying power. And this is a very powerful thing, especially in this day and age, given how mobile everybody is and the fact that all of us can move just about anywhere in the globe if we really wanted to, right? So it enables an incredible staying power and also something called emotional connectedness, if you will. Gallup, along with the Knight Foundation, has done a periodic study where they've looked at the 26 communities that they have papers in, and they have determined that there is a link between economic prosperity, economic growth, and how emotionally tied people feel to their community. And so what you guys are all doing with respect to placemaking and with respect to making your place matter and with respect to developing a unified voice, all that is incredibly important from a prosperity standpoint. Babe Ruth, you know, I was looking for a Hank Aaron quote, but we're going to have to go with Babe Ruth. I hope that's okay. But Babe Ruth says, the way a team plays as a whole determines its success. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, the club won't be worth a dime, right? So I think we've all seen that in our various walks of life from time to time again. So with that, I want to say thank you. Again, it's been an honor to join you all this morning for such a momentous day. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Glenn is walking around collecting cards. Be sure to get your card in for the drawing. Please help me thank Joy Wilkins. Tremendous presentation, Joy. Thank you for being here today. It's my pleasure to introduce Lana Mobley. This is the NuLink Early Bird Forum, and Lana, we thank NuLink for sponsoring this event. This is a great day for a drawing.
Thank you. We decided that since today was such a special day, being a 5-star accreditation with the U.S. Chamber, we're not going to give one giveaway. We're going to give 3. So as Glenn goes around and makes sure that your card is in the it's a golf giveaway. And it's a golf giveaway about sports. As we're in the middle of March Madness and as we prepare for the Masters, we felt nothing would be more appropriate than a little something from ESPN. So we have 3 gifts from ESPN. And while he finishes, I wanted to remind you to look on your table at the LeaderCast document that's there. Guys, you don't want to miss this event. It is May 10th. It is sponsored by Andy Miller and Print Source. NuLink is your technology sponsor for that event. And take this, and if you sign up and use the promotion code NuLink10, you'll get 10% off that day. There's not another day that you can go and spend a one-day leadership time to listen to 9 amazing people. So it'll be a fun day, and so we encourage you to do that. The other thing is I want to encourage you, all you gals in here, if you're not a member of the Business Women's Golf League, you need to be. How many of you currently are a member of the league? Raise your hand. Okay, we need all of you. So on the NuLink table at the back of the room, there's the sheet that talks about what our new schedule is. We just are getting kicked off. So we had our first meeting last Thursday. The next one is this Thursday at Coweta Club. And now, instead of playing the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays, we're now playing Thursday. We're now playing every Thursday and rotating clubs. So it's going to be a great year. And I just hope I can remember how to play. All right, so our first prize is an ESPN jacket. This is for a guy. Garnett and all these guys from Dragon for Dogs. I'm sorry, y'all just, I keep looking at Jack Counts and remember seeing his midriff at the cowboy hat on. I'm sorry. Oh, this is for the girl one. Oh, say, excuse me. Ann Meisner from CTCA. Yay! Great, Ann, thanks. This is for the men's jacket, and it goes to Frank Chunk Newman. Frank? Oh, here we go. And then this backpack is great because for those of you who travel to any sporting event, you can always find something to put in these, right? Jennifer Hanna from Contemporary Catering. She wins everything. One of her staff members is going to accept on her behalf.
Accept on behalf.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for being here today, and I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Lana. Glenn Gould, announcements, chamber pot drawing. Come on up, Glenn.
We just want to thank Mark Whitlock for emceeing us for us today. Did he do a great job or what?
Yeah.
Okay, put everything back in order here. I promise that we'll make this as prompt as possible. I want to thank everyone for participating today, certainly the presenters, all the people, all the moving parts. Wow, what an amazing thing. I want to show a quick video, and then we'll make our final announcements and call it a day.
Hi, I'm Jack Counts with Cancer Treatment Centers of America, and I'm serving as 2013 Golf Committee Chair, and we're here at White Oak Golf Club, home of the 28th Annual Noonan Coweta Chamber Annual Golf Classic. It'll be held May 1st this year, and we're very excited about everything that we have going on, and we hope to see you there. There are many exciting things, and we want to tell you all about them. Danny?
That's right, Jack. This year, we once again have the Toyota of Noonan ball drop. Walt will be up in a helicopter dropping all of his balls for the whole world to see. You can buy tickets from our ambassadors. You can buy tickets from the board members. You can go to the chamber and buy tickets. You can go to Toyota of Noonan to buy those tickets. Make sure you get in the game.
That's right, Danny. And if you haven't signed up your golf team yet, you should definitely sign up for the Super Ticket. This year, the Super Ticket includes a foursome of golf, 8 mulligans, 12 of those amazing ball drop tickets, and a whole sponsorship sign. What else do you need?
You want to get your business involved? You need to sign up today for Expo on the Green. It's the perfect opportunity for you to get involved with the day's event and also network with all the golfers.
All right, Jack, it is a wonderful day here at White Oak Country Club.
Sure is.
I know it's going to be a wonderful day on May the 1st. I was just testing you. Jack, you know I was, back in the day, I was the past chair, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I have a lot to live up to. I've heard what a wonderful job you did, mostly from you, but I really heard it was great.
I am the man. Well, look, don't forget about the day. It is a wonderful day. Expos, there's plenty of sponsorship opportunities. There's plenty of golfers. It's going to be a big day, and we hope that you come to the After Hours event, which is brought to you by that big 7-story facility, Piedmont Healthcare, out there in the country. We love them. We thank them so much for their sponsorship.
Yeah, we do thank them. It's going to be big fun. We've got a band this year, lots of prizes, lots of fun. Please come out, even if you're not a golfer. Come to the business after hours. Lots of fun, lots of good times, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Don't miss out. Sign up today.
So I'm in a really awkward position because I can't watch that video without thanking Grant Gould for producing it. He did a great job. So we do need you to sign up today. We do have golf ball drop tickets available. Rebecca Brownlow right here has golf ball tickets to sell today. She will not let you leave without purchasing at least one. She'll be at the round table at the back when we're getting ready to leave, so don't miss out on that. You have a chance to win $1,500. On your table, you also will see Small Business of the Year nomination forms. Make this really easy. If you own a small business, just fill it out with your name. You don't have to explain why you're nominating yourself. Just nominate yourself. Leave it on the table, and we'll get in touch with you on how to move further. We really do want you to nominate yourself, but self-nomination is absolutely encouraged. Candace has already thanked our ambassadors, but I would like to thank them once again. Did they do a great job, and don't they always for us? Yes, let's hear it for them. We have a new feature that you've started to see. It's our hot deal of the week, and it's on our website. You'll also be receiving an email about that. Now, you don't want to hesitate on these hot deals because they only last for that week, and they're generally speaking very, very exciting. So this week, I believe we have one that's 50% off on something coming out. So you want to watch for that because it's going to come right up. But make sure you watch for those. We do have 2 community-wide trips that we're endorsing right now. You don't want to miss out on these opportunities to tour these places. You'll see Carol Ann Fields. Carol Ann, please stand up back in the back. Make sure they know who you are. See Carol Ann Fields to sign up or just to learn more about our trip to Tuscany in March of next year or to China in the fall of this year. Tomorrow night, we have the South Metro Young Professionals Blowout at Starlight Family Fun Center out in Thomas Crossroads. You make sure to come to that. The entire chamber is invited, not just young professionals, so please make it a point to show up. You'll have an opportunity to meet folks from 5 other chambers. And then one last thing, we have a community announcement for Dancing with the Stars. I believe we have 2 of the dancers in the room today, maybe more. If 3, I'm told 3 now. If you're one of the dancers, if you would please stand, Andy Miller's gonna bring you the microphone and you can give your best pitch.
Hi, everybody. David Kent, Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Judy's holding my picture up along with Brad, and who else is here? Is it just me and you, Brad? Well, I tell you what, if you don't vote for Brad, vote for me. I can neither confirm nor deny that I will be doing the worm. So make sure you come. It's going to be a great night. April 17th at 7 o'clock. The Center for Performing Visual Arts. Actually, let me rephrase what I said. If you don't vote for me, I guess you could vote for Brad. But we appreciate all your support. It's for a great cause, the Community Welcome House. Thanks to Judy.
And as Andy is bringing the mic over, I've seen some of David's moves. Oh my. That's all I can say.
Good morning. I'm with New Utilities. I would challenge him for a dance-off up here, but I don't think we got enough time.
Whoa, wait a second. We definitely have enough time for that. David's seated.
No, it is a great cause. I'm excited to be part of a community that is such a giving community. I'm going to be doing the samba, and we'll see who wins that night. Me and him, we've been aggravating each other back and forth, but it's a great cause. Everybody bring their wallets and come out and see us April 17th.
Real briefly, do we have any other community announcements? If you do, this is your opportunity. One right here.
Karen Kurtz with the Newton Coweta Board of Realtors. We're having our first ever Home Expo. I have a pretty loud mouth anyway. Home Expo, April 11th at the Coweta Fairgrounds. We hope you guys will all join us. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. Thank you. And thanks to Luke for being the chairperson.
Any others? One over here, Andy. If you would please hold for the microphone so it'll show up on the audio.
David Galloway with Ansley Park Health and Rehabilitation. We'll be having our open house Thursday night from 5 to 8. Parking is available behind Dillard's. We won't make you walk, but transportation will be provided by the Benton House and 2 other assisted livings in town.
Thank you. Last call. Any others?
Glenn, it's not a
Candace.
announcement, but today is Carol Ann's birthday. Oh, sorry.
Today is Carol Ann's birthday. So now you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna sing happy birthday to Carol Ann. Before we get the chamber pot, that way all of you have to stay. Do we have somebody who wants to start it for us? Lana. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caroline. Happy birthday to you. We'd asked for a speech, but I think we better not. We're running short on time. Happy birthday, Caroline. Well, one final comment before I drop for the chamber pot, and that is a lot of people have told you how much so many people have meant to this community. One thing that didn't get said today, but it was implied, and I think it's important to say it, is that our president and CEO, Candace Boothby, is a great leader. There's no question about that. She's able to get us to do things that we didn't think we could do. But beyond that, she's an exceptional leader because she's able to get people to do things that they didn't think they could do, which inspires her to do things that even she didn't think she could do. And that is just a progressive thing that really I've come to really appreciate here. Candace Boothby is a great community leader, not just a chamber leader, and I'd like for y'all to give her one more applause. Okay, chamber pot time. Does everyone know how this works? I'm going to pull out a name. If your name is the name, you win today $1,000. $1,000. I'm not going to do that. That's too much pressure. Michelle's going to do it. Tom Baranco, Pope and Land Enterprises. Oh, one time? One time for $500. Gregory Hopkins, Piedmont Physicians. Oh. Candace says one more time. I'm gonna draw this one. See, we change our luck. Chuck Kerpeck, Southern Ground Social Club. Buck and a quarter? Sure, why not? Buck and a quarter. This one. Robert Stitt. Okay, so those four folks, if you know them, make sure they know that they lost a bunch of money today by not being here. We want to thank you very, very much for being here this morning and sharing with us your accomplishment, because it is truly your accomplishment. We couldn't do it without you. You are a great community. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.